city behind me is Erbil, but I'm not sure if it can be seen due to the haze. The most dangerous environmental cause of death is smog. Not only environmental causes, but it also kills more people than wars. According to the United Nations, there were around 43,000 deaths in 2022, despite all of the hostilities that occurred between Russia and Ukraine, and in the Tigray region. On the other hand, the annual death toll from air pollution exceeds 7 million. Let's go inside the city to find out what's causing the pollution. Carbon dioxide is one of the most harmful gases to the environment. Transportation accounts for around 21% of human-produced CO2. That means more than 7 billion metric tons per year. Three of the 4 Iraqi provinces with the highest number of vehicles per population are in the Kurdistan region. The first is Erbil, followed by Baghdad, Suleimania, and Duhok. Each car emits roughly 100 grams of CO2 every kilometer. This is in accordance with international norms, but here the outcomes are more dangerous. Since some cars have exhaust stones removed and do not have exhaust stones, also the quality of gasoline and petrol is not so high. The best solution to reduce the congestion is to pay more attention to public transport. But unfortunately, we don't have a subway, and people do not usually use buses. That is the smog which I mentioned. That car might drive through a neighborhood, bringing all of the smog with it. I am going to ask a mechanic the reason for that much smog emission. The majority of cars, particularly trucks, emit massive amounts of smog. Can you, as a mechanic, explain why this is so?
Not only small trucks, but all gasoline-powered vehicles release a significant quantity of pollution.
Those that work with gas.
And the reason is the quality of the gasoline. Petrol and engine oil are of poor grade. Petrol is of good quality in Europe, Iran, and Turkey. The reason is not the engine.
The main reason is the quality of gas, right?
Yes, that is the reason.
That means if gasoline quality had been improved, petrol emissions would have been reduced.
Yes, the emission would have been reduced. Even electric generators would emit less smog.
So the primary factor is petrol, not the type of car.
The type of car is not the problem. The quality of gasoline and oil engine is the reason, specifically the gasoline quality.
In addition to cars and industry, the Kurdistan region has environmental challenges. In the Kurdistan region, there are about 5,500 electric generators, all of which run on gasoline. Developed countries are attempting to rely on renewable energy to prevent themselves from using petrol. However, in the Kurdistan region, only 20% of electricity is generated by renewable energy. I explained the negative impacts of CO2. And now I'm going to ask Dr. Hassan, who has been working on Erbil's air quality for 8 years, for more information. Let's see how his research turns out.
Erbil should lower its environmental footprint, which means that the environmental footprint in Erbil is high in comparison to the rest of the world. According to international standards, the ratio is 4.99%, whereas in Erbil, the ratio is 8.29%, and it is really high.
Do you mean carbon?
Yes, transportation, energy use in residences, and a variety of other activities, such as manufacturing, all contribute to the so-called carbon footprint.
What is the primary source of CO2 in Erbil and the Kurdistan region?
We conducted a study, and as you saw from the graphic map, transport is the most significant issue in this regard. According to our estimations, using cars is more than average, and there are some other things, but they are low. But most importantly is transportation, and other than that, we have manufacturing, energy generation from generators, and there's a lot of pollution. Just look at those diseases: heart disease, lung problems.
How do we address the issue of electricity generation?
Certainly, there is a greater emphasis on generating power from less polluting sources around the world, such as gasoline, which is better than oil in terms of lowering environmental pollution, but this is not the solution. Another option is to use nuclear energy, which is the most environmentally friendly because it emits no carbon dioxide. Renewable energies like wind and solar are even more significant.
What effect does pollution have on global warming and climate change?
The pollution caused by large quantities of carbon dioxide rises to the troposphere, which is roughly 20 kilometers altitude, and appears like a tent. Indeed, it is called a thermal tent. Where do the long waves go when they hit that blanket? They return to the atmosphere, generating pollution and rising temperatures.
According to Dr. Hassan, greenhouse gases act like a blanket around the Earth. The gases allow heat to enter and trap it. I'd like to clarify that with this vehicle. When you open the door, the indoor temperature is much higher than the outside. The reason for this is that the heat is trapped within the car. The same is true for the atmosphere. When CO2 level rises, it traps heat, making the Earth hotter each year. We went from global warming to global boiling. Factories are the #1 cause of air pollution, followed by transportation and forest burning. Factory smoke has been linked to a number of diseases, including stroke, cardiovascular disease, and asthma. Cancer is another disease that is on the rise in the Kurdistan region. So far, over 71,000 cancer patients have been registered in the Kurdistan region, with Erbil ranking first. Approximately 30,000 cases have been documented in Erbil, over 23,000 in Sulaimani and Halabja, and over 9,000 in Duhok. We discussed some diseases induced by air pollution, as well as cancer, which is on the rise. Dr. Abbas researched the prevalence of cancer and the age of patients.
Our report covers all of the data from Erbil and Duhok, which we gathered over the course of around 2.5 years of research. We were astounded by the outcomes. For example, in Erbil in 2013, the cancer incidence was 73 per 100,000 people. But in 2019, it had risen to 174 persons.
In only 6 years, it went from 73 to 174.
Yes, it increased from 36 to 85 in Duhok. However, the global cancer incidence in 2019 was 442, implying that the results in Erbil do not appear to be dangerous in comparison to the rest of the world.
We haven't crossed the line yet, but the increase is worrisome.
Yes, in the same study, we predicted the cancer rate for the next 10 years. We believe the rate will more than double in the next 10 years.
You have predicted the results in 2019, right?
Now we have the results of 2020, 2021, and 2022, which are the same as we predicted.
Same as you predicted in 2019?
Yes.
We talked about the negative impacts of smog on the environment. Now we are heading to Kabat district. I was told that there is a steam power plant which emits too much smog. We will talk with the residences about that smog. The Kabat steam power station began operations in July 2020. The plant, which consists of 2 turbines each generating 150 megawatts, provides power to 60,000 families. But since January 2023, when the filter failed, it has been emitting a dark haze that has been linked to a variety of diseases. The station's management has refused to comment on the matter.
We are exhausted from the smog. The station is a steam power plant, but the filter has failed.
Does it emit that much smog every day?
It emits smog every minute of the day and night. There is a stain on everything, even cars and windows.
Does the smog leave a stain?
It appears on plants and destroys agricultural products. The longer we stay here, the more diseases we may catch. We have informed many authorities about this, such as the mayor and the environmental committee.
How is the situation inside?
I used to work there. Every acidic chemical is being mixed. If anyone wanted to repair something, he had to wear a mask.
Do they wear masks inside the station?
Yes, there was previously a firm, but today a Turkish company regulates the station and they have removed the filters, causing more smog. The filter has become contaminated.
This is a matter of health. This has an impact on our health that has nothing to do with personal matters. This has an impact on everyone's health.
Everyone breathes the same air.
It is unnecessary to debate or counter-reaction to these complaints. That can be fixed. In Harir, there is a sort of stone that can be used as a filter, reducing smog. I had previously videotaped the station, and the pollution vanished once it emitted. However, it has now spread. I returned from Bardarash today because the wind was blowing from the south. I noted that the haze was dispersed. even at Bardarash and Acre.
That means if the wind blows in any direction, the residents of that area will inhale the smog.
Yes, residents of Kabat district, Rizgari and Karagosk are exhausted from the smog.
As the villagers mentioned, the smog not only affects people's health and stains on their cars and houses, but also affects the agricultural products. We are in an agricultural field with Mr. Asan. I will talk with that farmer about his products. Hello, how are you?
Thank you, welcome.
Your field is so close to the station. What impacts does it have on the products?
It has a significant impact on the products. The pollution even has a bad odor. The color of the leaves has been distorted. The smog is worse in the mornings and stinks. Because of the haze, some people suffer from asthma or other diseases.
Does stain appear on the leaves?
Yes, it is obvious. Now you see it. See? Come here and see this. Yes, and of course, these leaves, for example, their colors are distorted. Their colors have been distorted.
Can I cut off a little piece of it?
Now you see it.
Is it the smog that causes the yellow stains? Can you see it? The leaves are covered in stains. Let me ask you again, Mr. Asan, about the situation inside the station. You mentioned that acidic chemicals are used within the station, correct?
Yes, they use a number of chemical compounds inside, but I do not know what their names are. They're generally acidic substances. When I was working there, once I wanted to clean the engine when it had stopped. I walked to the gas heater chamber where a manhole was blocked. I tried to unclog it with a shovel, but it was smashed into pieces.
Shovel smashed into pieces.
The shaft was the only thing that remained.
Your finger got burned.
Despite wearing gloves, my finger was scorched.
Despite wearing gloves, your finger got burned, correct?
Yes, I was wearing 2 gloves. It took nearly a month to recover.
Despite the fact that cigarette smoke can cause more diseases than factory fumes, such as asthma or cancer, the difference is that one can smoke or not smoke a cigarette. But if there is a factory or electric generator close to your house, then everyone near the source inhaled the smog. Not only humans, but also plants, as previously mentioned. Even the leaves of the plants are damaged. How can smog affect one's health? When the particulate matter that is spreaded in the air infiltrates inside our lungs via inhalation, they accumulate there. After a while, some parts of the debris are so tiny that it might enter our cells and damage the DNA, which might result in cancer or other diseases.
کەسەکە ئەگەری توشبوون بە شێرپەنجەی هەیە یان چەندین جۆر نەخۆشی دیکە.
Some claim that the fumes cause yellow stains on cars that are impossible to remove even after washing.
The spots are caused by the fume. During the day, the pollution is white, but it darkens at night.
Those yellow stains.
Yes. It cannot be eliminated by washing or polishing. Some people paid $40,000 to $50,000 for a car, and the color was completely distorted.
Even polish can't remove it?
There's no way to get rid of it.
Who is the owner of this car? Is the owner employed here?
Yes, this is my car, and it needs to be washed. The stain, however, will not be removed.
We generally wash cars with washing shampoo. However, the discoloration is resistant to car wax and even citric acid.
If a car wash employee's car looks like this, what do other cars look like?
Normally, my car is parked beneath the covers all day, but the smog blows in with the wind. Some people wonder how these stains may be removed, but polish cannot always remove them.
If the stains are cleaned, how long does it take to get stained like this again?
A week, and we'll return to the same condition.
Only 1 week?
Yes, our house is near a hospital. The smog reaches the houses at night and settles on them.
How far is your house from here?
Almost 3 kilometers.
You're fatigued inside your house despite the distance.
Come to my house for dinner and take a closer look at the matter. The smog on the roof is clearly visible.
There are generally 3 factors that contribute to smog sickness. First, the longer a person is exposed to smoke, the more smoke they inhale. As a result, the more likely they are to get sick. Second, the amount of smoke one inhales. Because smoke density is higher near factories and power plants, the closer you are to them, the more likely you are to become sick. The third factor is the type of smoke, because some gases are more likely to cause sickness than others. On the other hand, we cannot abandon factories because they are the backbone of industry. Nonetheless, the best method to avoid the spread of these dangerous gases is to install high-quality filters in factories.